Hello, everybody, and welcome to another round of CCA Splatoon. This is week 4. We are in Division 1 here with a very exciting matchup between Old Bay Brigade from the University of Maryland College Park and Drexel Dragons Splatoon from, of course, Drexel. I am Squidoku, and with me is Neptune.
Hello, everyone. So I'm very excited for this matchup here today because Drexel and Old Bay are both very familiar CCA teams if you've been around this season. So we're going to be having a clash of titans here. It is Division 1. The stage is set here, Squidoku. Are you ready to get into this?
Oh, I am very ready to get into this. Both of these two teams are in the thick of it in Division 1, with Drexel currently sitting at 2-1, Old Bay Brigade sitting at 1-2. Both of these teams uh, looking to add another win to their record, starting right off. Although I do see only 3 players on the side of Drexel at the moment, so I assume we are going to see this get restarted so we can have our 8th and final player uh, rejoin the room.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? It's all right. At least it's out of the way now, right? Any disconnects, right, or whatever. It's at the start of the game. It's not in the middle of one, right?
Yeah,
Just shake it off, right?
I would definitely prefer that if I were to disconnect or my teammate were to disconnect, that it be 0 seconds into the game.
Yes, exactly. It was a frame one disconnect, as I like to call it, right there. But you
Yeah,
know
that's a
what?
good way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. But you saw the map mode there. I believe it was, if I check my thing correctly right here. Yes, it was Tower Control Hagglefish, and Tower Control Hagglefish is a really fun map mode, I think, because it takes all the beauty that is Hagglefish Market and condenses it into a more snowball form of a map right here. And it seems like these teams are already prepped and ready to give us this game of Tower Control here, Squidoku.
Yeah, that we do. We have our 4th and final player on Drexel. Both teams fully stacked and ready to go coming in here. Some an interesting team comp on the side of Drexel. I noticed they have no Tacticooler with them.
Yeah, for sure. Having no tacticooler, it's being very brave, but you do have the resources to play around the tacticooler because you have a roller and you have a junior. Having double bubble is such a great way to slow down pushes. You practically can hold spaces, but look at this, 2 picks and they're already pushing up here.
Yeah, there is Gillies over there using that roller, that curling bomb to get in. Ninja Squid looks like they have on that roller, but still able to move in with plenty of pace. Now Drexel is at checkpoint number 1, but they're backing out a little bit, using those tri-strikes maybe to hold a little bit of space, but without anyone on the tower, it does get a little bit pushed back, and so now as 2 go down on the side of Drexel, they are looking to hold as much space as they're able to as Old Bay Brigade come in with a first push of their own.
Yeah, for sure. Old Bay is looking really strong right now. They got a bubble and a crab right now. There's a lot of pressure being put on them, and they're already at this first checkpoint here.
Yeah, they're able to get there with nothing to contest him. No specials online from Drexel. The closest thing they have is a crab tank that only just now gets ready to go. But with Old Brigade already popping out a Trizuka, the last shot of it isn't enough, and the crab wins that fight. That is Maxmix on the crab, a new player who has been doing a great job with Drexel, or so they say. At least that's what they've told us, I should say. But Drexel have managed to stop that push. At the 36-point remaining mark, and now Maxmix pushing up ahead with the rest of the team following suit as Old Bay have that Tacticooler ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. Having that tactical, that's a ready, set, go button right now. The Carbon's trying to find a way in. They do call out the roller, and their teammates are able to finish up this fight right now. But you can just see how quickly that push from Drexel got turned around, and now it's Old Bay going to be the one pushing. Double burst bomb action. You love to see it.
Yeah, using those bombs, using a whole lot of chip damage to stifle and hold back Drexel. They have a big bubbler of their own from that Decavitator of S that has been popped right now, and so Old Bay looking to continue. There's that drop from Gillies onto the decav, getting another pick, and a third one, looking for a solo quad to completely stifle Old Bay in their tracks.
Oh my god, Gillies is going absolutely insane on V-Roller. V-Roller is one of those weapons where it's so easy to lose track of it, alongside the fact that it's a one-shot makes it such a deadly weapon, especially when wielded by someone who is very experienced as Gillies.
Yeah, looking for more there. Not getting any yet and getting taken out by the splash of Razor. Now we have that Zuka coming out and looking for something, not quite getting anything, but Old Bay Brigade, they are doing pretty well so far. They haven't allowed Drexel to even make it past the first checkpoint, and they've already had 2 pushes of their own make it to or past the second.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely see Drexel trying to find a way to break through. They're really good at holding their space because they have 2 big bubblers on their side, but they're really struggling to get something going. But hey, 2 down. This is the go sign that Drexel was looking for, but unfortunately gets shut down by the roller, and it gets shut down by the roller on Drexel as well.
Yeah, that Carbon Roller looked like they were trying to jump out and even got taken out just as they left the ground here. There's that big bubbler, not being popped on the tower, but a little bit ahead of it. There may be also a bubble on the tower, only just now is that Junior getting special charge back again, and that does allow Drexel to get through that first checkpoint. But then another big bubbler, this time from the side of Old Bay Brigade. But if Drexel are able to keep moving, they have a crab tank ready to go. They're only 10 or so points away from taking the lead here.
Oh my goodness, Drexel is coming out here swinging, using everything in her arsenal. There's the big bubbler, there are the strikes. The passive special charge from the tower is allowing them to go through and swap this lead here. Amazing push here, Squidoku.
Yeah, amazing indeed. They managed to get that far in the last minute of the game, and that means that Old Bay Brigade do not have a whole lot of time to retake retake the lead, I should say. Now, there is Miku Plush on the tower using that pencil to try and find space to paint. No last-ditch effort on either side for any of these players, so despite the fact that we are in the last 30 seconds of the game, they're not going to get any additional boosts from that.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta give Purple their flowers here, essentially. Just immediately taking these high ground positions, recognizing that, hey, as long as I'm alive and able to get these picks here, I'm going to be able to contest this tower right now. They're getting close to these tri-strikes, and now we enter the dangerous part, which is overtime here, Squidoku.
Yeah, there is, I believe, a crab tank. Oh, no, there's that roller coming right in. I believe that was Gillies who just rushed in from the left side, dropped onto the tower, and with whoever was riding it from Old Bay Brigade backing out, that just left the tower completely in the possession of Drexel, and there goes that push, giving Drexel game 1.
Oh my goodness. Game 1 was something else here today. Just, you gotta give credit where credit is due to Drexel. Finding that one opening. They just needed one opening to be able to push the tower past that second checkpoint, swap it at the very end, and basically turn the tables on Old Bay Brigade.
Yeah, and as well, using the big bubblers at the right time, they had both of them ready to go, and not just at the time they used them, but the location as well. We didn't see it on screen, but I am pretty confident that during that push that got Drexel the lead, they had the Junior use their bubble on the tower at the same time as the roller of Gillies that used the bubble up in front of it at the subsequent checkpoint, and that is Grace on the Junior who had their bubble. And with both of those bubbles, that was enough for, even with the pressure from Old Bay Brigade, to keep them alive and to make it through that all-important first checkpoint on this map.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking at the stats right here. Thank you, Grace, for sending in these lovely stats here. I'm looking at the scoreboard specifically. Between the roller and the Junior, there is a total of 9 bubbles. And Gillies, with that V roller, we saw them putting in so much work. Drop a 16 kills and 9 deaths in one game. That is some good roller numbers, if I do say so myself, Squid.
Yeah, the +7 KAs to deaths, that was really effective work there from Gillies, especially including those 4 that came from that quad we saw. And all of the players on the side of Drexel doing a great job contributing to that effort. that looked really good for them, but of course, it by no means was a dominant performance here. Old Bay Brigade certainly showed their own strengths and could easily come back here in our next game, which is going to be Rainmaker on Museum d'Alfonsino.
Yeah, Museum del Foncino. Ooh, this is going to be a very interesting map mode because when you look at both these teams and how their comps are functioning, Old Bay has a lot of, how do I say it, fast playmaking potential that they can do, while Drexel can definitely play the long game with their bubbles. They can hold their space. They can use what is necessary. And already, I'm seeing some weapon switch-ups here, Swadoku.
Yeah, we have Gillies on Drexel switching to Carbon Roller Deco, but there is a Dually Squelchers coming out on the side of Old Bay Brigade, and a Sploosh as well, but that is a disconnect once more. It looks like Max Mix again with the disconnect. I hope that they're able to sort through their problems, and I hope that won't be too much of a continued issue for them.
Yeah, for sure. It's really unfortunate because I know college internet is not one of the most reliable things out there, but these are college students playing in a collegiate league on a game that I think is hosted on a toaster rather than a proper server. I don't know, Squidoku. Just
Yeah,
sometimes...
well, I mean, if you look at the Switch in its dock, it kind of resembles a toaster, and that is where the games are hosted. They're hosted on a player's Switch, so it's not the most robust system, especially with people spread out all across like North America like this.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? We're gonna just shake it off. It's to happen at the start of the game again. At least it wasn't mid-game. So we saw the player comps right now. I see a Sploosh-o-matic. I wanted to talk about that a little bit earlier, but yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's go. Let's see this. Sploosh-o-matic, one of the best Rainmaker specific weapons you have in this game. It's so fast, so quick, and it's able to pop that Rainmaker so easily. And you saw it right there how Old Bay was able to just do that in a matter of seconds. And now Drexel needs to be the one to find a response right there. And 3 down on the side of Old Bay. Miku Plush is forced to back up as we have Gillies already looking for that kill.
Yeah, able to get the splat onto that pencil, even though the cooler was out. I'm not sure if Miku Plush was able to get it, and now Drexel already able to get through that checkpoint, looking to continue that push. There is that sneak up from FL onto that Zuka, using the Sploosh-o-matic, that very fast sneaking capability. But now Old Bay Brigade have popped the Rainmaker shield once again, and they managed to stop the push at 33 remaining. Drexel might be looking for even more. They win one fight, but don't even have time to take another. And that Rainmaker reset for Old Bay is going to give them an opportunity to take the fight back into mid, Neptune.
Yep. Going back straight into mid here, they can definitely start causing some chaos. They have some specials ready. The Sploosh is really hell-bent on breaking through this Rainmaker barrier, but Drexel is not going to be giving through right now. They're looking through an option here, but hey, Gilly's always finding these opportunities to just sneak up and do what Carbon Rollers do best, which is just one-shot you when you least expect it here.
Yeah, Gilly's getting really comfortable in that position, able to take out the pencil cleanly. Now dropping back into mid here. That is some good work for Drexel, looking to get another push going. They have those tri-strikes coming out, but oh, that is another disconnect for Drexel. It, I believe, is going to be too late for them to do another reset, and so they're going to have to fight this at 3v4 for the rest of this game.
A 3v4 is definitely going to be a bit of a rough start right here, because when you get a kill, it's no longer advantage. It's now neutral, supposedly, when it comes to the numbers advantage, but Drexel is holding their own, and Grace is doing a wonderful job holding down this fort, not letting anyone through, painting up for this bubble, because if there's one thing that can slow down an enemy team, it's going to be a bubble, and no weapon is going to get it faster than this junior here.
Yeah, running at least a main of the Inksaver sub to get some extra splat bombs. Those splat bombs and that main weapon paint are going to be good for getting a big bubbler. But now Old Bay Brigade, they just need to keep the pressure on, keep that consistent numbers advantage up. Turple there looking to get something going, but taken out by Miku Plush. And now with 2 down on the side of Old Bay and 2, technically 3 down for Drexel, they only have 1 left alive, and that's not going to be enough to at least take the fight back to mid, but they may be able to stall out even more here. They still have that big bubbler. Grace is still up, surviving and putting down a whole lot of paint, but getting marked by that wave breaker is going to be tough. That does mean the lead goes to Old Bay Brigade.
Oh my goodness, Old Bay just putting down the pressure here, but Grace is out here still fighting, despite the numbers, despite the disconnects here. Old Bay is going to be continuing their push here, but you got to commit the effort that is coming up from Drexel here to try and stay alive, especially when the numbers are stacked against them here. Oh my goodness, Turple getting 2 in 1 pick.
That is an incredible play to save this game, to at least let it go on a little bit longer to prevent the knockout here. They still have points on the board, and they are going to want to fight with everything they can to keep going. They are not rolling over here. Turple picking up the Rainmaker, dodging some of those. Oh, dodging that Ultra Stamp, and with the help of a teammate, letting them get taken out. But so Drexel is going to really need everything they can get and more out of this.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely something that Drexel is struggling with. But hey, 2 amazing picks there. I believe it was another collateral from Turple here. We just got to get the Rainmaker out of here, and that's the most important part here. Just getting it out of your spawn so you can start a push of your own and find maybe some way to salvage this game.
Yeah, Grace here looking to put down even more paint, dodging those shots from that pencil, but with 2 specials on the side. Oh, maybe make that 2 again as 1 goes down, but Old Bay still have that those specials ready to go. They're not super aggressive specials, a big bubbler and a wave breaker, I believe, and so that means they won't have the excellent targeting power, but with 1 dropping down, that is a trade onto the Rainmaker, and with only a few seconds left, this is going to go to Old Bay Brigade.
Oh my goodness, that was quite an interesting beginning, because we saw Drexel coming out swinging, just getting a lot of points, just all the way down to nearly 30 in the first minute of the game. But it's unfortunately the case where the router could not hold up, the game connection could not be stable, and basically led to a numbers disadvantage consistently throughout the game that just unfortunately allowed Old Bay to be able to take this one home.
Yeah, Old Bay doing exactly what they needed to do. They could have potentially knocked it out there if things had gone a little bit differently. There's that incredible collateral from Turple, able to make the game last a little bit longer. But I think the story of this game is really that disconnect, and I just wonder what the ramifications are going to be going forward, especially on the mental side.
Ramifications going forward on the mental side is definitely an interesting question, because you got to look at this as one thing. It's connection. It's not something you can really control here. It's out of your reach here, but I would feel pretty good if I'm Drexel. I was able to hold my ground. I was able to make them work to get the knockout there as well. We saw Turple, we saw Grace, we saw Gillies holding down the 4th, trying to stop this train that is Old Bay Brigade that is rapidly approaching them. And I'm looking at the stats here. Grace got 18 KA with 5 deaths and 7 bubbles and over 2k paint. Oh my goodness, these bubbles are putting in work for Drexel.
Yeah, over 2,000 paint is quite a lot. Granted, there would probably have been less space to paint if Max Mix had still been up throughout the entire game, but even then, still, only dying 5 times overall, and managing to do all that survival, getting 7 bubbles with only 5 deaths is very impressive there for Grace.
Definitely. Gotta give it my shout out. Flowers. Drexel Dragons there. But we are going to be moving on to game number 3, which is going to be Clan Blitz Mako Mart. Now, out of all the Clan Blitz maps, this is probably the one where you're most likely to score, because you're practically 1 team fight away to be able to crack open that basket and start scoring here, Squidoku.
Yeah, this is a tiny clams map. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe that out of all of the maps in the game, this one has the smallest basket-to-basket distance. It is so easy if you get a wipeout on here to just steamroll all the way through mid and immediately get a push going onto the other team's basket. And so both teams are going to have to be ready for that. Interesting changes in comp coming out here from Old Bay Brigade once again.
Yeah, Old Bay is going to be opting for the V-Roller, and I believe it's Flabber is what the full name is for the splash tag, is going to be swapping between Carbon Roller, the Sploosh, and now the V-Roller. Now, this is probably one of the most deadly rollers to have on Mako Mart. Oh my goodness, a curling bomb kill, and another one here. Flabber is going absolutely insane, leading their team in this first 30 seconds of the game.
Yeah, but Maxpix still able to dodge those swings and stay alive, skirmishing for Gillies to come in and get the pick onto Flabber there. Gillies holding a couple of clams. There's that Zuka. Using the Zuka, but the pencil had already gone down. Having another shot left, having to use it up because the time was already running out as the reduced amount of time for that Zuka to be able to be used. There's that Inkjet coming out from S, who has switched from the Mint Decavitator to the Charcoal kit. S trying to get the pick onto Gillies, who manages to stay alive for a little bit longer once again. Still eventually ends up going down, but this is still a very tough fight here in mid. Neither team has a power clam at the moment. S winning that fight there over on the side, but getting taken out there. Flabber, though, managing to come in from the other direction and score that power clam.
Yeah, for sure. And something that I really like about this dynamic is how the rollers have switched, essentially. We saw in the first game how Gillies was the one rocking the V-Roller, and Flabber was the one on Carbon, but now the roles are reversed here. Flabber is the one rocking this V-Roller and taking it all the way home, but hey, the push can only go so long as Drexel finds their footing and is able to get back to mid.
Yeah, you could say the rollers are reversed there. There's that bubble coming out from Grace. Drexel managing to stop that push, but not able to get any further on their own. Old Bay Brigade really looking to take this here. Maxmix able to, it looks like, get the pick on the Inkjet and win that fight, and now having a crab ready to go as reward for it. But they know Flabber is there under that stack, and so if Maxix were to pop the crab there, they would get taken out immediately, and even so, they still do. This is still a Drexel team that is running no Tacticooler. Turple picking up that power clam as the basket gets opened up once again. It looks like Old Bay don't have the power to move in, and so that just essentially gives Drexel a free power clam and no more points on the board for Old Bay.
Yeah, no more points on the board for Old Bay here, unfortunately. But hey, you know who is trying to get points here? It's Drexel. They are slowly racking up these kills, using these specials, trying to pin down these members of Old Bay Brigade. They have 2 power clams to their name. They're trying to get a bubble really quickly, but we already see the specials are coming out here. Trades are going crazy, and we have 3 members down. A bubble gets popped preemptively, and the basket is open here, Squidoku.
Yeah, that pencil being the only one left for Old Bay Brigade, that means that Drexel was able to come on in. The door was wide open, and now, having scored 3 power clams, plus a few more to spare, they are able to take a substantial lead here, getting down all the way to 31 remaining with about a minute and a half left in the game.
Oh my goodness. Just a minute left in this game, and there's so much bloodshed happening. Just players trading each other out. When someone dies, there's someone else ready to clean up that fight that someone just started right there. And you definitely see this is a back and forth game that how one person can get an advantage here that can potentially snowball it, but also other people are trying to clean up to prevent any advantage from getting any out of control here.
Yeah, what I think is interesting is that these two teams have been going about making their pushes in slightly different ways. Old Bay Brigade trying to have a longer, more extended push where they keep scoring a few clams at a time, but they can make it last for a while and get through almost half of the points. Whereas Drexel able to pick up, gather those power clams, and score 3 all in one push. Old Bay Brigade looking to put down a whole lot of paint, especially around that stack. They are trying to get in, but with 2 going down, that isn't going to work, especially now that Grace has a bubble up onto the stack belonging to Drexel Dragons. And now with less than half a minute, or now less than half a minute left here, Old Bay Brigade, they have a power clan, but with only 2 left alive, they are losing these fights, and they're going to need more than that in order to get through.
Oh, okay. That was real dicey. I saw the Charger was about to have a tap shot battle, and Miku Plus manages to come out on top here, securing another kill and allowing the anchor of Drexel to fall, allowing them to swap the lead in the last couple seconds of the game here.
Yeah, Old Bay, now that they had 2 power clams of their own, they were able to get both of them in. There is Flabber on that roller, and I don't know if someone else threw in another power clam or another clam, but that is that overtime over there, and Old Bay Brigade takes this game.
Oh my goodness, that was looking so much in the favor of Old Bay Brigade here. And unfortunately, I think I messed up the score here, Squidoku. It is 2 up for Old Bay Brigade and 1 down for Drexel Dragons here. But you gotta admit this, if you were just watching this set and this was the only game you watched, you could see it going either way.
Oh yeah, both of these teams able to put up such a fight, able to score, able to win these engagements and then continue to push off of them. Both of these teams really showing why they are in Division 1 here in the CCA, able to really coordinate their pushes and even coordinate their retreats there.
Yeah, for sure. Just I really like just the teamwork that is coming out here and being displayed here in Division 1 of CCA, because this is the highest division for CCA players, and they are showing why they are here. They're showing, hey, we can coordinate specials, we can coordinate team fights, and we can coordinate clam pushes to be able to score 3 power clams in one cycle. That was absolutely insane, Squidbuku.
Yeah, and not to mention, oh hey, we can play our weapons pretty well. We know what we're trying to do here, and it really comes down to execution and which team is able to pull off what they're going for better than the other.
Yeah, for sure. And I love the roller reversal you mentioned earlier. Not only is that a great play on words, but just how these players are so equivalent that even when they switch weapons, right, it looks like one can get the hand over the other. It's a very interesting matchup, Carbon versus V-Roller. It's something you don't see every single day.
Yeah, and especially both players playing both sides of the matchup, because a lot of the time you would see if a map or mode is more suited to one of them, you might see both players going for it, like we saw in Game 2. But we've also had these 2 games where one player picked one roller and the other player picked the other one, and then they switched for Game 3, and so that was not really something that you see all too often.
Yeah,
But now we're going to be going into Game 4, and who knows, maybe they'll both be on Carbon, although I somehow doubt it.
Let's see. You know what? It's very interesting from a player perspective, right? But wait, I think I see an Explo coming out on Brinewater Springs. I can see the vision here, Squidoku.
Oh, this is interesting. Not only have we seen Flabber completely toss away the roller class for an Explosher, we also have a ballpoint Splatlink coming out from Drexel.
Yeah, ballpoint splat, not something you see as much every single time, but when you do, it is a treat to see. Purple is going to be quite the flex here in terms of the backlines as well. And we see the inkjet get popped and being finished off by Gillies here, who is going absolutely insane on this roller here. 3 members down on Old Bay. It's now Drexel's time to start pushing the spawn.
Yeah, and it's interesting that switching off of that Z and F charger, getting rid of the strikes in favor of the much more aggressive, more ready to move forward inkjet, and that has allowed Drexel to take the lead right here. Although with Grace going down, that is a lot of paint that Drexel are losing, and so Flabber with that Explo can really contest that, using that triple splashdown and then continuing to extend forward, firing those explosive shots over the edge of that ramp, and able to really hold back Drexel in their attempt to retake.
Yeah, for sure. You can just see Drexel just really getting choked out here by these specials here. It's very difficult to be able to get anything going here, and it seems like the other members of Drexel are trying their best here to break out of this chokehold that they have here as well. We have Maxman very bravely going up to zone right here, but who else but Flabber and the Pencil are both ready to catch that as well. 3 members down from Drexel. It's just that Junior has to fight for their lives right now. Oh my goodness, getting that final pick here. Flabber popping off a clean and convincing game for Old Bay Brigade.
Yeah, they really held control over this, and honestly, I think this could be just a matter of preparation. With such a significant change in their comp, with Flabber going on to the Explosher, I feel like that's surely something that they had in their pocket specifically for this map mode. Being able to put down so much paint on the zone, not to mention that triple splashdown that they used so well there to go for splats, also to paint the zone with it as well, with its increased paint in the recent patch, but also getting picks like that over the edge of that ramp. Flabber doing so much work on that Explosher to really help Old Bay Brigade to a very convincing win.
Yeah, for sure. And something I gotta mention here is just how did I describe this? Like the range or effective painting range specifically, right? Because you look at Drexel's comp and you know the painter is the junior, right? That is going to be your main person putting down paint on the floor to allow your teammates to move up. The problem comes when that junior is being stuffed out by more ranged painting options like that Pencil and that Explosher there. So even though the junior has a lot of paint and a lot of painting capabilities, it's not able to do it as effectively with those weapons on that map mode.
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. The junior needing to really get in a very awkward position, or one of a few different positions, all very awkward, in order to put down paint on the zone or really anywhere. But now we are cycling through the map modes once again. We are back to tower control here on Shipshape Cargo Company, as Old Brave Brigade have an opportunity to put the set away.
Definitely, but you know what? Drexel has Bubble. What's really good at keeping tower pushes? But Big Bubbler, and they have 2 of them here, Squidoku.
Yeah, this is the mode that Drexel have taken a win before in the set on, and so they will be looking to repeat that once again. Now, with one going down on each side, there is that big bubbler, that first one, ready to go from the junior. I believe the roller is going to get another one of those soon. Gilly's looking for a pick there. There is one down there, able to get that jump out before going down, preserving that special charge. But Gilly's moving forward, maybe backing out a little bit though, as they're not able to get a pick on the Pencil or on anyone nearby. But with another bubbler ready to go, Drexel are finally moving that tower. Gilly's moving forward, looking to take out the decav that's rushing to the tower down. But the Drexel using those strikes as well. They have specials at their disposal, ready to get that tower past the first checkpoint.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the difficult part. Wadzuka is completely ineffective against that big bubbler here and is allowing the tower to move forward. The more the tower gets to move, the more special they get to build and potentially stack another big bubbler. Here it comes. Another bubble on the tower. Squidoku, it's a chain of bubbles.
It is, and even one from the decav is going to go up, but it's not going to stop a trade from happening. And just like that, Drexel are already past the second checkpoint. And with only 2 checkpoints on this map, the tower is already in the single digits now. Old Bay trying to stop this, but Drexel showing their strength here and taking another win, a knockout win very early to move on to another game and stay alive in the set.
I feel like I just predicted the future Squidoku. I said Bubble was going to be the most important special coming out here. It was the most frequent special, and it allowed Old Bay, but Drexel to get the upper hand in a situation that they normally wouldn't be able to if it were not for those big bubblers constantly stabilizing the pushes and keeping the players alive when they needed it most.
Yeah, well, I would like to see is just how long, in terms of how many seconds that game lasted, and like how many bubbles per minute. I think that was like probably at least 2, maybe 3 bubbles per minute here from the team, as I think they had like 4 of them in a very short game. Yeah, this is 4 bubbles in barely over a minute and a half as the game lasted.
Yeah, for sure. Just the bubbles per minute or the bubbles per second have just going absolutely insane. I see one bubble in the tower, it's done. The next bubble comes up on tower, then the bubble comes up to try and contest the tower. It looks like I'm watching an episode of SpongeBob and he's just blowing bubbles here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that game, looking at the clock, it lasted 96 seconds. So that is a bubble every 24 seconds on average here for Drexel to ride that tower all the way to the goal. And so they are now only 1 game behind, but they are going to have to clutch this out in two more modes. In the first Rainmaker game, they had the lead before that disconnect, and so they are certainly going to want to take that again. They're going to want to take a lead again, and this time follow through and take it to the bank and bring it to a game 7. But Drexel first are going to have to contend with a Wellstring now on the side of Old Bay Brigade.
A Wellstring and Sploosh being paired together here. I think I see the vision here, because not only are both those weapons great at popping the Rainmaker, they have a particular special shared, which is the Hammer. The Hammer is potentially something that can go through the bubbles and just threaten the members of Drexel and just shred through it very quickly. I think this is a very interesting counterpick here coming out to this.
Yeah, they are going to want to get those pops, get those Rainmaker shield pops, and move the Rainmaker. They want as much control over the objective as they can possibly get here. There's Maxmix with a crab ready to go, but goes down without using it, and they are not going to have a whole lot of that charge preserved there. Currently at 58%. S here on that decaf, putting up that big bubbler. Neither team, I believe, has even picked up the Rainmaker until just now, almost a whole minute into the game. But now, as Old Bay Brigade brings it to the side, they're not quite ready to defend, and there's a very well-placed bomb from Grace there, taking out the Rainmaker. That being said, though, they do move it a little bit further, but it's still on its way to the checkpoint, getting taken out yet again.
Yeah, for sure. Turple is just holding down the fort right here, allowing their teammates time and space by getting those crucial picks on the Rainmaker to be able to move forward. And now it's going to be Turple's time to play with the Rainmaker. A bubble is set up all nicely in advance, so Turple can just move up without any problems. It does get shredded immediately. That's the power of Wellstring right there. We saw it already. Let's see if it's able to shred it one more time. But Turple does manage to snag the lead here.
Yeah, they got closer to the checkpoint, Drexel taking the lead, but it's not very safe for them as they all go down for it. They have that Ultra Stamp ready to go coming out from the Wellstring, but S now holding the Rainmaker, they are going to want to carry it. The Hammer throw doesn't quite take out that Charger, but now Old Bay have the lead back once again, still not quite able to make it onto the checkpoint.
Oh, was not able to make it onto the checkpoint there as well. And I have to point out, unfortunately, Grace died to the Rainmaker by being bumped off the map by the shield. That is so unfortunate and could be really crucial for keeping the momentum in Old Bay's favor, especially with these picks coming out here from Miku, but the Rainmaker resets!
Yeah, Miku Plush not quite there in time, looking to help with that pop, able to do so with a little bit of help from, it looks like, that Sploosh-O-Matic, but Miku Plush picking up the Rainmaker once again, and the players aren't there to defend, except they are! They are there just in time with that bubble coming out, giving them the space to operate in, and even with all of these advantages that they're getting, that Old Bay are able to get, they're still not quite able to get the Rainmaker onto that checkpoint.
Yeah, for sure. It's just the defense on Drexel's side is incredible and being further enhanced by these bubbles. Just keeping the space, not allowing Old Bay to be able to do what they want to do. And we also do see Gillies getting these picks right now. 2 are down here. A Crab Tank being top tier from the dualies. It is go time here, Squadoku.
Yeah, what I'm wondering is, are we going to see at any point either of these teams make a fast break on the right side in order to just get the checkpoint, because they're not quite able to do it either way. Even though they have those 2 bubbles, they don't quite. Okay, now finally with the bubble, they are able to make it onto the checkpoint, and that's going to be big for Drexel.
Yeah, for sure. I love the placement of that bubble there. Not only was it to secure the first checkpoint, but in case Turple died, which is exactly what was the case, it protected them from the potential fast pops that would have been made from the Wellstring and the Sploosh, because they have to shred through the bubble before they got to the Rainmaker shield, and that allowed that little bit of time to be able to secure the checkpoint here, as already Drexel is scrambling for a defense as Old Bay got over to right side?
Yeah, they might have wanted to get that fast break push, but no, now they're going left. They did the reverse there, and they finally managed to break through with Drexel only having a little bit of pressure on that left side. But now the crab is out once again, and the bubble, but Old Bay, with that ultra fast pop, they are able to put down enough paint and jump forward onto the Rainmaker, picking it up, but there's still so much room for Drexel to come back, but they only have 20 seconds to do it.
20 seconds, it is go time. If you are Drexel, do or die. It is one way or another. You gotta find a way to push this lead here. Wait a minute, going right side with the bubble, guaranteeing space, going all the way down to 37. Reversal of fortune if you are Old Bay Brigade, and now you're gonna be the ones on the back foot here.
That was like a bubble tunnel. There's no way they hadn't practiced that. Chaining those bubbles perfectly in position to cleanly go through one into the next to get the lead. And that is, I think, a shot from the Charger there to take out the Rainmaker and bring us to Game 7.
Oh my goodness, Squidoku. We saw Drexel claw their way back up. They are dragons, and they have fangs, they have claws, and they are not out yet. They are here to bring it to a Game 7 here, even when it seems like they're on the brink of losing.
Yeah, I am really impressed. I think both of these teams know exactly what they're about here. They know exactly what they want to bring, and they know how to use the tools that they're bringing. That double bubble Rainmaker tunnel, that was very impressive, I would say.
Very impressive indeed. And I just gotta give credit where credit is due. That had to have been practice, right? Where
oh yeah, for sure.
You talk to your teammates, right?
I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh hey, we need to get points fast, and it's only one checkpoint here. Let's make a bubble tunnel to guarantee our Rainmaker to go a little bit past here and go all the way up the right side. Because as we saw before, opting for the right side, it's not always the most optimal position there, but it does allow you that little bit of breathing room, that little bit of time where the enemies need to rotate, and with that tiny bit of time, you're able to set up the bubble and you're able to secure those points. Oh my goodness, that is a story I'll be telling my other Splatoon friends later tonight.
Oh, for sure. And now that just brings us into a Game 7. This is for all the marbles here. These teams are 3-3 going into it. Umami Ruins, Clam Blitz. We are going to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, for sure. Whoever comes out on top of this set will take it home here. It is a very decisive game here for both these teams, and it seems like the pencil is coming back out. No more Wellstring, no more games. It's going to be Soda all the way against this double bubble monstrosity that is Drexel Dragons.
Yeah, so both of these teams going with what they know best, I would say. We have Flabber on that roller and S on the charcoal decaf as opposed to the mint. Otherwise, oh, all these players getting what they want. There is a early wipeout there for Old Bay Brigade onto Drexel Dragons, and this is a very, very quick push. Wow, already down to 29 points remaining.
Oh my goodness. Old Bay said enough, no more games here. Ready, set, go. We push in with our roller. We push in with everything we have, and we get it down to 29 in a minute here. This kind of reminds me of the Rainmaker game, how Drexel was the one driving those points early on, and now let's see if they're able to climb back here, because I feel like both these teams are a lot more even in skill level, as this set it already implies.
Yeah, but that means that Drexel have a lot of work to do here. They have one power clam at their disposal. Only managing a trade there is Gillies in mid inside that bubble that is now shredded. Turple going down. Maxmix picking up that power clam, having a bubble from Grace ready to go out, and they are going to need some kind of way in with Old Bay Brigade having such a strong lead as well as controlling the clam economy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a bit... Drexel is in a very difficult spot right here, because not only is there a clam shortage because Old Bay is picking up everything, but they're constantly pushing their agenda. They are forcing their specials out so early that they can't come out into mid right now, and you see just all these picks coming out right here. Drexel is struggling to get any an iodium of control here, and it's so difficult.
Yeah, it is very difficult here, even with 2 going down on the side of Old Bay. Drexel, they still aren't able to get paint in mid, let alone their own bodies. With Flabber controlling the space, preventing anyone from getting close, and Miku Plush putting it down so much paint from a distance. They have to use specials here, Maxmix's Crab in particular, to get further forward. There's that big bubbler coming out, but it's not quite close enough to score from, only enabling Maxmix to get onto that dome there and have to fight from there to stay alive, not to get players in. Maxmix diving with so much damage on them, having to heal up a little bit, and very well done by Drexel, managing to keep all their players alive and keeping them ready for another push. However, with that charger finally going down here, they may have to back up even further.
Oh my goodness, 3 down. You are a junior, you're running for your life here. You have a bubble, but how much space can you afford to give up, let alone points? You are getting a lot of power clams and you're getting these pity clams, but how long can you hold on to it, especially as Ope continues to click down that score even further and lower?
Yeah, already down to 13 points remaining. Old Bay having so many clams in their possession. They don't need to rush in and score with them. They can make the opportunities, and getting 3 down, forcing the last player, the junior, to fall back. That was the opportunity that they needed to increase their lead, continue that lockout, get another pick right here, and they are not here to stop. They're not here for just a win. They want to make this a knockout if they can.
Yeah, for sure. But now, 3 down on the members of Old Bay. A bubble is coming up here. We see Grace painting for it really quickly, trying to get an entryway right now. We had 3 members down. It's trying to go up. It's not quite there yet. They do manage to get the basket, but is there enough time to potentially turn this around?
Oh, I'm not sure. They need to keep scoring. They lost one of their power clams. Gillies was juggling them earlier, but Grace didn't manage to continue doing that. They're already down to 21 remaining. They're just 3 clams away, but with all their players going down, Grace the only one left alive. Can Grace get those clams in? Only 2 of them! That is 1 clam away from the lead for Drexel, but Old Bay holds on.
Old Bay holds on by barely just a thread right here. That push earlier did mean they get to keep this lead that they have right now, but now Drexel needs to be the ones to make a play here. 10 seconds on the clock. Crab Tank is ready to go. Can they set this up? Can they make this happen here? Let's find out as we go into overtime, Sudoku.
Yeah, they need 45 points here. They need 2 power clams and 2 more, or 1 power clam and 9 more, but they need to get in first. They only have so much overtime to do. Turple trying to rush in, gets taken out. Maxmix trying to dodge roll in, gets taken out. That is the wipeout, and that is the set for Old Bay Brigade.
Oh my goodness, that was tooth and nail, claw and tooth. I don't know what analogy I can use here, But that was an absolutely insane game from both teams. Every second, every moment, there was something happening that was just involving interactions that was swinging in either team's favors right there, and that was just absolutely just poetry in motion.
Yeah, this set had everything. This set had nail biters. It had a very near comeback. It went down to the wire. It had a disconnect that could have been the definitive. You could say that might have been the definitive moment of the game because that turned a strong position from Drexel into a loss. And so that you could say that a disconnect was one of the many, many factors that decided the set.
You could say that, but like one clam away. Oh my goodness, just
One clam.
one clam. Drexel had it all right there, and let's just take a little bit of time to just appreciate the stats coming out here because there's a lot to
Oh,
dissect here,
wow.
Squidoku.
Yeah, 1700, almost 1800 paint from Grace, 22 and 11 KDs from Gillies.
22 and 11. Okay. That is so much fighting. Like, oh my goodness. Like, this is without a cooler, mind you, right? You
Yeah.
are coming back here and just throwing your body at the at your enemies here and trading out probably at least 2 for 1 practically with that score that as it indicates right there as well.
Yeah,
And you can just
literally
yeah.
averaging 2 for 1, Gillies was. And it was so close to a late comeback. They were one clam away.
One clam away as well. And you can see just how much paint is just coming out from that junior here as well. Being very dominant. Even though it was getting contested by so many things, Grace still found way to get so many bubbles up. There was 9 total bubbles from the side of Drexel. Meanwhile, Old Bay, they seemed to struggle to getting their bubbles out. It seemed like Flabber was opting for more of an aggressive playstyle, trying to match Gilly's 2 for 1 kills there. Not to quite the same extent, but like 12 deaths, even with your cooler right there. It's scrap city for Flabber.
Yeah, and of course, being the least paint on the team, I wouldn't expect a roller to get much more paint compared to a pencil and a splash. I could see them going similarly with the charcoal decapitator, especially since the nerfs have affected how much paint the main weapon gets, and the charcoal kit doesn't really put down much paint otherwise.
Yeah, for sure. The Decapitator is one of those weapons you mostly see the mint variant nowadays. It's very popular. And the Jet definitely was one of those picks that was used, and it was dealt with very appropriately. You saw Turple just shoot it down from the sky. You saw Bubbles come out to try and contest it. It just felt like every time the jetpack came up, there was a response, and that is reflected in the KAs as well. But is there anything else you want to point out here, Squidoku?
Yeah, I also want to point out from previous games also, there were some incredible plays all throughout this set. Like, I really want to bring attention to that choice of the custom explosher from Flabber in the Zones game, game 4. That did a ton of work to really shut down. Not to mention Miku Plush able to get through without even a single death. Flabber only limiting themselves to 1. That was very impressive work there, putting down 700 paint, 7 splats in a knockout as quick as that.
Yeah, for sure. And we can't, as much as I'd like to gush about these teams, Squiddo, we can only be live for so long, right? But man, what a show that was put on by both these teams here. I gotta give flowers to both of them here and just say thank you for putting on quite a show for not only myself and Squidoku, but our audience here at the CCA.
Yeah, and there is one other thing I want to mention. With with this set going to Old Bay Brigade, that means we have a rock paper scissors situation here in this group. Because
Oh.
with Old Bay Brigade beating Drexel, Drexel took a win over UCSD Gold in week 1, and Old Bay Brigade lost to UCSD in sorry, Old Bay Brigade lost to UCSD in round 1, and Drexel beat UCSD in round 3. So with Old Bay beating Drexel, that means each of these teams are 1-1 against each other.
Oh my goodness. We created a circle of doom, a rock paper scissors as you called it right here, where it might be a little bit ambiguous on who gets to make playoffs here. So we might have another tiebreaker such as overall wins come into account as well. So that is a very interesting diabolical thing that has happened in Division 1 Group 1, I believe. So, yeah, you gotta keep your eye out here. We do have more Division One sets coming out tomorrow as well. We do have, I believe, PSU Blue versus give me a second here. I have it written down somewhere. Arc no, not Arcali. They're going against UCSD Esports Gold. So more potential
Oh,
for UCSD Esports Gold to potentially take a game off the monsters that PSU Blue have been this season, as they have yet to drop a single game in their group.
yeah, PSU are really showing their strength here. They have been in this group, and we're going to uh, be looking forward to seeing what they can pull off here.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of Division One action on Saturday as well as Sunday as well. But I can only be on the mic so long, Squidoku. It was fantastic being able to share the sound space with you. Where can the fine people find you?
Yeah, thank you so much. You can find me on Blue Sky, where I am at squidoku.bsky.social, as you see on your screen. You can also find me on the Fediverse, where I am on splatsville.social at squidoku. Where can the folks find you, Neptune?
You can find me at Neptune-TV on Blue Sky, and also here at the CCA, losing my mind on the production side here, as I can hardly comprehend some of the talent that I'm seeing here. It's just so amazing, so impressive, and I love seeing it all. But Sudoku, let's wrap this up here. Amazing set from here today. Let's have a good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, we are done. Okay.
Awesome.